This is the engine compartment of a 1968 Chevy Camaro. Really great looking car. It is not a correct car per se, but it's a great looking car with a great character to it. The engine itself is a small block Chevy. I really don't know the configuration. I'm sure Donnie will check it out, and it'll be on the website to give you a heads up as to what we feel it started out displacement-wise anyway, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is now. There's so many stroker kits out there that without knowing the actual build of the engine, it's hard to really determine it. So at this point, it's a small block Chevy, and that runs really well. These cars work really well with these. Nice light motor, making lots of horsepower. It has an LT1 style Edelbrock dual plane intake manifold on it, a Edelbrock Carter AFB carburetor on it, a set of period correct style valve pan covers on it. Has power steering, a new master cylinder on it, appears to have newer brake lines on it also, a new chrome alternator on it with double bracing on it, which was a great idea on these because a single brace would allow it to fluctuate some. New belts all around, 7-blade flex fan with the correct shroud and a high flow radiator that these guys came with. Still has the heat hooked up for the passenger compartment, so if it would go to one of our northern states, you know, you do have the option that you do have heat in the vehicle. Most of the vehicles here in Florida, that's been eliminated. The headers are a long tube design. They have about 1 5/8 inch, I'm going to call them primary tube. There's no leaks whatsoever present on the top of the engine, the intake manifold, the timing chain cover, or the valve pan covers. Everything looks nice and dry as can be. Looks like someone's put a new wiper motor on it recently. It is an automatic transmission car. The fender wells on the inside look like they are absolutely brand new ones. Someone's taken a lot of time to disassemble this car, paint it, restore it, and put it back to this condition. It's really a great looking car. They've added a couple of chrome braces here. Let's see what else we see here. I did mention it does have power steering. Newer hoses also on the steering box. The distributor is a HEI style newer distributor for the car. Great looking engine compartment. I mean, it's done very, very tastefully. It's painted a lot of red and to contrast the flat black fender wells. Usually these are flat black under here. They chose to go ahead and paint it and finish it nicely, just as they did the outside of the car. It is a cowl induction style hood, 14-inch chrome air cleaner on it. Just a really nice looking car. There's no disruption whatsoever on the radiator core support. A newer battery in it also with the correct ends on it. How about that? Usually those have been replaced. This has the correct ends that mount up onto the posts on the battery. The subframes, everything on this car from up here really look good. We'll see what they look like better underneath, but presents itself very well. I mean, it's a very, very clean, tastefully done engine compartment. Small block Chevy making substantial horsepower, certainly enough to push this guy along as fast as you want to go. And it just has a lot of character to it. We'll go around the rest of it and show you what we can there. Hi, you're in Daytona Beach, Florida, and today our guest is a 1968 Chevy Camaro. Great color combination, a lot of amenities to the car. It's the first time I've got a chance to really take a look at it, and we're going to go over it and see what we can show you on it. Obviously, it's red. You got to like red. It has a cowl induction hood on it. The paint on this car is really above driver quality. It's very, very nice. Been laid on nicely. That there's no shadowing in it whatsoever. It's just a great paint job on this car. Look at the fit of the hood. Look at that, 1/8 of an inch the whole way. That's fantastic. Look at this, the whole way up to the cowl area. Header panel, no dents, no deviations whatsoever on it. No dinghies in the front from stones hitting it through the ears. There's no dinghies whatsoever in it. Camaro designation by Chevrolet on the front. The grill is plastic grill, the way they came, and there's no broken fins or anything on it. Parking lights are just as nice and clean as you'd want. Headlights and the headlight buckets, the enclosures, and the anodized aluminum trim that goes around this, the surround for this grill area is just as nice as you'd want to find. There's no dents or marks on it either. Same thing on this. Headlight bucket's just as nice as you'd ever hope to find. The bumper fitment in the front is right on the money. You can't fit it any better than it is there. It's absolutely spot on, both vertically and laterally. It's just right on the money. Didn't have a front spoiler when we got it. It had a rear one, but we did add a front spoiler for you. You got to have a front spoiler on these cars. Adds a lot of character to them. The front valance, there's no dents or pulls or chips or marks or anything whatsoever on it. Chrome on the front bumper. No scuff marks. Absolutely nothing on it. Thought that was a scuff there, but it isn't. It's a smudge. Just as nice a front end as you'd ever hope to find on any Camaro, or any car for that matter. It's fantastic, fantastic fitment. Quality is spot on. We got to go down the side, see if we can find something there. Okay, this is the driver's side of our little 68 Camaro. Side marker lamp in the front, no patina whatsoever, just as nice as you could hope to fit it. Where the fender transitions onto the front valance, very, very nice fitment. Wheel lip. No dinghies from anyone throwing a door open at the Walmart on it. Camaro designation on the side. Look at this. The hood to the cowl area, to the fender, to the door. Look at this. To the rocker panel. That is absolutely as good a fitment as you could ever hope to find on a car. The gaps are very, very nice on it. So far we haven't found a single thing. Correct wiper arms, incorrect blades. It has a more modern set of Anco blades, which would certainly work, you know, they would certainly be better functionally than the original blades that came with this car. They are not original, but they're functional and they're good looking. Trim around the front window, no dinghies, marks whatsoever. Nice clean VIN plate on the front of the dashboard, the metal part where it transitions to the base of the windshield. And it's as clean as can be. This must be a new window in it. It's a sunshade fade window in it, and kitted. And there's no dirt, no age whatsoever on the rubber or anything at the base of the windshield where it goes onto the dash. Pad itself, looking straight down on it, there's no deviations, definitely no cracks in it anywhere. I can't see a single mark or crack in it. Just as nice a dashboard looking down on it, we'll look at it from the inside, as you could ever hope to find. The roof is the roof. We have yet to find one that had any dings or marks or dents or scratches or anything else on it. I don't know how you do that. Somebody'd have to work to do that, I guess, but this one is just like wet glass. And it's just as sweet a fitment as you'd ever hope to find. Correct side mirror for driver's side, rectangular type that would be correct for 1968. This one has the optional trim on top of the doors here. A little mark here is a little, I don't know what happened through the years, who knows, a little dingy, something fell against it. You got to really look to see it. You can hardly feel it. It is there though. Look at this though. No patina whatsoever on the rear quarter glass. But look at the fitment of the glass where it goes from the front window back to the rear quarter glass. Absolutely spot on. You couldn't get it to fit any better. You know what? I think this is tinted glass also on the side windows. Door handle, brand new. The chrome is absolutely flawless on it. Tell you what, I still haven't found a chip or a mark or a scratch though. Look at this. Another door I don't have to adjust. I'll get to drink my iced tea for a little while longer. No door to adjust on this guy. Fits just as nice as you'd hope it to. Wheel lip molding in the back here, just as nice as you'd hope to find. No dings, no marks for any doors slamming against it. It's tin. No Bondo anywhere on this thing. Let's see here. Sill panel. There's no deviations, nothing where it indicates that it's ever been replaced or filled in properly. Trim around the back window, the same as it was at front. Just as nice as you'd hope to find. It has some kind of a diamond-plated hatch shelf in the back with 2 auxiliary speakers in it. It's not original, but I guess it's a personal thing. You have to take a look at it. You'll probably love it, but it is not original. It's definitely a little higher end than original. Looks good though. It's not going to detract from the overall appeal of this vehicle. Rear marker light the same as it was in the front. You can't get it to fit any better, and absolutely no patina whatsoever. That's the driver's side. Ooh, I just noticed that. Centerline wheels. Those were an expensive wheel back in the day. They're forged aluminum. These happen to be a polished design, and they were pretty high-end wheel whenever you bought them. Centerline. That was a manufacturer. Obviously, larger ones in the back than in the front. They're 15-inch. And I don't think you could put much bigger rubber in the back of this than it's already got on it. Got a nice look to it. It's got a really, really nice stance to it, a nice look. It sits up just the way it should. It's a nice Camaro so far. We'll see what's out back. Okay, tail section of our 68 Camaro. Deck lid absolutely as the hood. An 1/8 of an inch the whole way around. Look at that. Can't fit any better than it does. And again, the paint. And bear in mind, we haven't waxed this or gone over it or buffed it or anything. Jeff got this car, washed it, cleaned it up, and detailed it for us, and we're shooting a video on it now. And really, I mean, there's really nothing to do on this. The paint is just absolutely stunning on it. Rear spoiler fitment is spot on also. You can see it the way it fits across the rear deck. These are usually eaten up by patina, and this one is not, and neither is, oops, this one. Lenses are nice and clear. Backup lights are nice and clear also. SS designation on the gas door filler lid. The bumper fitment in the back is just like it was up front. That is absolutely flawless fitment. And again, the chrome is just that deep. There's no dents or dinghies whatsoever on it. No one bumped into it from the back end. I don't feel anything at all there. Rear valance. No pulls or anything on it. Just nice and straight and clear and clean. The exhaust pipes on this are conventional, just pipes coming out the back. So if someone decided they wanted to angle them or put a set of larger chrome tips on them or turn downs or whatever they want to personalize it, they certainly could. At this point, they're just a standard set of conventional pipes coming out the back for you to go ahead and make a decision to do what you want with them. You might like them just the way they are. There's nothing wrong with them looking the way they are now. One more side. Okay, our last side, passenger side of our 68 Camaro. This is neat. I never saw anything like this. I don't know where they got this. It's a single mast, just a single mast antenna, but the base on it is very small. It's about the size of a dime. And it's a flush fitment with the body, so it's not some big, huge base, that kind of sticks out and looks like it doesn't belong there. It's a nice looking setup. If you wanted to, I'm sure you could take this antenna off and you just have a little dime piece there that no one would even notice. Trim around the back window, same as it was on the other side. I don't see anything at all. Yeah, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 little, and I don't know what they are. They have to be from someone when they were installing this this trim, which, by the way, fits beautifully. You can't even get a finger between it and the body of the vehicle, the painted surface of the vehicle. You can't get a fingernail between it. Absolute precise fitment. I could feel them. I couldn't quite see them. You have to look at an angle to see them, but they're there. Certainly nothing that would indicate that you would replace that molding. You'd probably do the same thing putting another one on if you did buy it. We're not going to fix that. It's fine. The marker light on this side, just as nice as you'd ever hope to find. Same thing. Tin, no Bondo whatsoever. And this wheel lip molding, the same as the other two. So we got 3 for 3 now. Sail panel area, same as the other side. Don't really feel anything there. Door to quarter panel, look at that. That's about as nice as you're going to find a Camaro door fit. Door handle the same way as the other side, absolutely brand new and clean and shiny, and look at, it's again the same thing. Look, no patina and absolute precise fitment. By the way, these rubbers feel like they've been replaced and they're fairly new. Tinted glass again. No mirror on this side. If somebody buys this, besides they would rather have a mirror on the right-hand side. A lot of people want them the way they came from the factory original, so we don't put them on unless someone asks. If you want a mirror on this side, we'll put one on for you. Trim on the top, one more little mark here. On this one, you can hardly see it. You won't see it in the video, probably. You might even not see it. It's so small that you might not even see it in the high-resolution pictures that Devin's going to show you. Very, very small. Again, look. Amazing. Okay, trim around the windshield on this side. Same as the other side. Look. Totally amazing. Look. Door to the front fender. Camaro designation. Wheel loop molding. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Side marker lamp. Passenger side front. And we are back where we started. This car is really a nice car. It's the first I actually, I saw it, but the first I actually came up to it and had a chance to go over it. Jeff took it and gave it a quick clean up and detailed it some so we could go ahead and get the video up, present the car to you. We're trying to get as many as we can. Devin and I seem like we get locked that we can't get more than somehow middle 40s, 42, 4, 45, and then we sell more than we're, long story, but we're trying to get as many of these up as we possibly can for you. The Centerline wheels add a lot of character to this thing. They're a pretty expensive wheel to buy way back when. They are forged wheel designed, and they really look great on this car. They really add a lot of character to it, a lot of classic look to it, something that would have been put on this vehicle back in 1968 had you purchased it. It's a plain looking car. There's no stripes on it. If someone decided they wanted a Z28 stripe it or do whatever they wanted with it, paint it black along the bottom, add a little bit more character to it, you could do that. This car is a very nominally priced car. When you see what you can buy this Camaro for, you're going to flip out, because we have a big raft of Camaros. We always have a lot of them. They're a very iconic car. We try to always keep at least 6 or 8 of them on the floor at all times. And if you're looking for a Camaro and we don't have it here, check the Pennsylvania site, because Gary always has more Camaros up there than we do here. But this particular car, I guarantee you, we're going to undersell them on, because this thing is going to be very, very nominally priced. It's a great car. It's available here at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida. And as always, we encourage everyone to come down and take a look at it in person. But if you can't, that's why Devin and I are shooting these videos for you and trying to point out every little thing that we can. And this guy, other than a couple little superficial marks, and none of them were in the paint, by the way, I couldn't find a single thing on this. No hood to adjust, no deck to adjust, no doors to adjust. The car's pretty much ready to go. Throw a coat of wax on it if you want, or Jeff will do that actually before it leaves the premises here. And it's a car that you can put gas in, take out, and pull the trigger. It's a great looking car, and like I said, take a look at it at Hanksters Daytona Beach, because you'll never believe what you're going to buy this red Camaro for. Fantastic car. Okay, this is the interior of our 68 Camaro. Nice red car. I love to look out over these column induction hoods. It has a lot of character to it. You know, the way the fenders roll up on the edges, and then they transition over to a 2-inch column induction hood. Fantastic piece of engineering, piece of design that General Motors had. Grand steering wheel. It's a smaller design. It's about a, I don't know, about a 14-inch, 12 to 14-inch one, a little smaller than the standard one. So it's going to give it a little bit more precise, faster steering response. The gauges themselves are nice and crystal clear. You have a speedometer, you have a fuel gauge, some idiot lights, but you do have a trio of gauges underneath the dash, very professionally mounted right in the center there. You have oil pressure, temp, and amp. And right here we have a sun tack also angled right for you to take a look at. I don't know what this is, some kind of Mickey Mouse shifter, but it does function as an automatic transmission shifter, so The door panels, really nice. There's a mark here. There's a split here. I don't know what happened. I'm going to guess. This is just a guess on my part. Somebody had window tint in it or something and came across it with a razor blade, but it's not through. It's just a mark. It's just a very, very light scratch. Certainly nothing that you would ever consider replacing or addressing in any fashion. The correct molded style armrests on the front of the doors. The panels themselves are just as new. Beautiful condition. There's no scuff marks or anything on the base of them from people's shoes hitting them through the years. Your door actuators nice and clean and clear. New window cranks front and rear. Chrome on them is absolutely flawless. The headliner, I just noticed this. Wow, this is some type of cloth material as opposed to the plastic that they generally put on the headliner. This is really neat. Somebody spent a lot of money and a lot of time to do this. As tight as can be, just as tight as a drum. You can see the dome light is also functioning. The sun visors, no stitching coming loose, and the padding and everything is just fresh and clean, just as nice as could possibly be. Mirror that needs tightened. But it is the day-night mirror, and it is the correct style mirror that would come on this vehicle. Again, the dash pad, there's no marks or cracks or warpage or deviations whatsoever on it. All your knobs on the dash are nice and clean as can be. It has an aftermarket radio in it. Oh boy, I don't know what else I can tell you. I mean, this thing is really, really a nice car. It's locked. Panels in the back are just as nice as the door panels in the front. They look absolutely new. No deviations whatsoever in the vinyl on them, no fade or warpage or anything on top of them. The back seat, the front seat, all new interior and nicely padded and sprung just the way it should be. Seat belts in the back, seat belts in the front, and they're the GM seat belts also, not an aftermarket seat belt. Loop pile carpeting, and it's just as nice as you'd ever hope to find. Camaro floor mats front and rear. They're carpeted with the Camaro insignia embroidered on them. Rubbers in the doors are absolutely brand new, and yep, the rubbers on the window tops, which I noticed on that side, they're also new and nice, resilient. So there's absolutely nothing to show you a negative on the inside of this vehicle. It mimics the outside of it. It's just as nice a vehicle interior-wise as it was on the outside. It's just a beautifully done fit, finish, character, everything on it that you could ever hope to find in a 68 Camaro. Take a look at it. Let's hear it. Hangsters in Daytona Beach. And again, you're going to flip out when you can see what you can buy this car for. This is a Camaro that somebody can get into the collector car game for a very nominal price, and this car can do nothing except appreciate. Take a look at it. Hangsters, Daytona Beach. Okay, we have a horn that does work. We have wipers that do function as they should. Okay, we have a turn signal left, just beating itself to death over here. We got a turn signal right, doing its act for us. We have a fuel gauge that's functioning, showing us between 1/4 and 1/2. Speedometer, I'm sure, will work. We have a tachometer that's working. We have an oil pressure gauge that's functioning, showing us we're idle here a little over 50 pounds. We have an amp gauge showing us we're doing about 30 amps. And we have a water temperature gauge that's just starting to come up because we just started it. And we have no air conditioning other than right here. But other than that, this is a nice car. It's a really nice car. We're going to go for a ride in it and see how it works. This car's a really nice car. Speedometer is working just as it should. It's not jumpy or anything, and it goes up and down just the way it should. No hands on the wheel. We're going down the road straight. You can see there's no hands. Just going down the road just the way we should. Got to angle it right though. This is nice. Let's try brakes with no hands. Pulls off to the left. That could be just because the brakes haven't been used for a while. Let me put them on a couple of times. lot of times drum brakes will do that. They'll pull if they haven't been used for a while. And let's see. Yep, that's what it was. Now the brake, now the stop is straight as can be. No hands. Stop straight as can be. It's just they hadn't been used for a while and they were grabbing on the left-hand side. Now it's not. Nice running car. It shifts nice, drives nice, gets down the road. Real precise steering. Has a lot to do with this smaller diameter steering wheel instead of the one that was out here. It gives you a lot more leg room in the vehicle too. Nice car. Well, we got to let off here. We got some farm equipment just pulled out in front of us and had to let off. But the car pulls just the way it should. It's a nice small block. You heard it shift from first to second. It chirped the tires. It's a nice, solid, straight running car. You're not going to find a car that runs any straighter or any nicer than this. It's just a great car. Really a nice, straight running car. Tight. There's no shakes, shimmies, rattles, squeaks, nothing. Okay, this is the other carriage of our 1968 red, really bright red Chevy Camaro. Fantastic looking little car. Somebody spent a lot of time on this thing, a lot of money too, actually. Drum brakes in the front, drum brakes in the rear, which you'll see in a minute here. But a small sway bar in the front, new shocks, new tie rod ends, new idler arm. The Fitment arm is original. The starter is a conventional starter. I'm going to call them 1 5/8 long tube headers, which I think was stated down upstairs. This thing still has the canister style oil filter on it, which is a kind of a neat thing. They quit that actually in 1966 and 67. Some frames are absolutely free of dents. They are just as absolute new as they were when they left the factory in 1968. A couple little marks here on the cradle from being jacked up through the years. No leaks whatsoever on the engine, absolutely none. And it's been out and painted. You can see it's been freshened up, new gasket on the oil pan. There's a little dampness on the bottom of the bell housing here, not enough to drip. It probably was whenever the oil filter was changed, it leaked out a little bit, but there's not even enough dampness, that's it. Nothing to fix. The floor pans themselves appear to be all original. I don't see where they've been replaced. The pinch welds and everything are still evident on them, and they're solid as a rock everywhere. I don't see any distortion or any rust whatsoever, absolutely none. Turbo 350 automatic transmission, steel cooling lines going forward to the radiator, just the way they should be. Let's see. Parking brake, original, still hooked up and functional. The primary pipes off the headers, they're a 3-inch collector going into, I'm going to call them a 2 1/8 inch primary pipe coming off the collectors. No leaks on the tail shaft, no leaks on the speedometer drive housing. The U-joint in the front of the drive shaft is new, and so is the rear one. And you can see that the drive shaft's been addressed. It has the original pinch welds the whole way along the rocker panels. And so I'm going to call them original. I don't think they have been replaced or addressed through the years. Didn't really need to be, from what I can see. It's all to be all original tin. I don't see where anywhere it's been cut and replaced or worked on. Brake line, still the wire wound brake line and the original style that goes to the back. Same thing with the fuel line, 5/16 fuel line going toward the rear. And again, the wire winding on it, just the way it would be from the factory. The mufflers are just an under chassis muffler, and they're this is kind of a turbo style muffler. I don't know the manufacturer, but you can see the exhaust system is all new. Mufflers, tailpipes, everything, the entire system is new. Has a multi-leaf spring rear suspension. Kind of unusual to see that in this car, but it does have a multi-leaf rear suspension in it. undercarriage on this thing is really nice. You can see everything is just as nice. A couple little dents in the floor pans here from the years, probably from being pulled up and back onto a rack. Rear shocks in the rear are also new, staggered system the way it would be on a Camaro for torque bias. Pan where it transitions up over the rear differential, there's absolutely no distortion. It doesn't appear that it's ever been replaced either. Drop downs and the quarters are the original ones yet, and they still have their original rubber plugs in them yet. This is a very nice car. No one's undercoated anything on it. The wheel wells themselves are painted red the way the rest of this car is. It shows all original tin. I don't see anywhere where it's been replaced at all. Again, rear drum brakes on it. Tailpipes, they go from 2 1/8. I'm going to call these 2-inch tailpipes going out of the mufflers. And the gas tank is a brand new gas tank. Someone's replaced it with a painted black brand new tank with new mountings also, new straps and new rubbers also for the mounting brackets. 10 volt Chevy rear. You can see that the differential doesn't leak either. There's no leaks on this car really at all. There's none. There's absolutely none. It's a nice straight car underneath. Honestly, there's nothing I can find on this car that would deter anyone from buying it. I mean, it just reeks a lot of originality. It has the original pans on it. From what I can tell, all original tin. I don't see anything that's been replaced. If it has been, I certainly can't detect that it has been. All the original pinch wells, everything's still evident on this vehicle. And again, no leaks on it. It's a nice small block Chevy engine, 350 tranny. Subframes, everything on this car is just as sweet and nice as you'd ever hope to find. It's a car that's available here at Hankster's. You're going to flip out when you see what you can buy this thing for, because it is really, really a nice Camaro.